Okay, so this one is not in the summary section. It doesn't have warnings. Besides, the only warning it says is Izuku's drops continues. So that's the warning. It's not the big warning that was last episode. Um, Alright, so this is Kit by Avvi88, chapter 23. Summary: Izuku's drop continues. Tomura could only watch in horror as his sensei dragged Eraserhead out of the bar and towards the lab. He knew he couldn't do anything by himself, and Kirigirl could be controlled easily. He turned around and only to be met by a horrified Dabi and Kirigirl, who was out of control. Kirigirl, what are you doing? Tomura screeched, taking a step back in horror. Dabi turned around, shocked. Evaded? No. Evident. There we go. Evident on his face. I don't know. Kirigirl, Kirigirl answered, his voice different from before. It was like there was two voices in one. They watched as Kirigirl calmed down after a few minutes. Are you okay? Dabi asked, walking towards the older man. Yeah, everything just triggered something. He answered back to it. He answered, his voice back to normal. Our first priority right now is to take care of him. Kirigirl stated, jerking his head towards the shaking teen. Tomura walked over and bent down in front of the shaking teen. Izuku, can you tell me what's wrong so we can help? Tomura asked, using Midoriya's first name to try and calm the brunette. Izuku whispered, fear seeping through his tone. Tomura turned towards the two confused. Do you know what he's talking about? He asked. Dabi could only shake his head, but Kirigirl seemed to understand. The guy we hired to try and capture them, his quirk had a side effect, and it seems that Midoriya-kun had been affected by one of the side effects. He needs physical contact. Dabi turned around. His silence he was silent. He was silent for a moment before he let out a nervous breath. If only my if if I use my quirk on the restraints. What if I use my quirk on the restraints? What if we can get Izuku out first? We can focus on Eraserhead. When he comes back. Dabi explained. Tomura explained. Dabi looked hesitant, but nodded his head anyways. Back away from the food. Sorry, that's my cat. Tomura hated what he had become after his sensei that night all those years ago. He knew that forgiveness was not anywhere in his future, but could not he he could still not let this innocent teen become between the villains and heroes. He let out a breath before touching the restraints. They crumbled under his touch before the dust hit the floor. I'm going to get you down. I'm going to get you down on the ground, okay? He asked the teen in front of him. Izuku gave a weak nod in response. Tomura lifted the teen carefully from the chair, sat him near near the bar. He placed Izuku down on his lap and held his hand. Izuku looked awful, to say at least. His face was white as a sheet, sweat covering sweat covering his forehead and neck. His breath was uneven and raspy, coming out in small huffs. His entire body was shaking, weak and burnt up. His cat ears were laying flat on his head in discomfort, his tail swaying lazily behind him. "You're going to be okay, I got you," Tamura whispered, cradling, cradling, cradling? Yeah, cradling his hand through the messy hair. Dabi walked over to them and sat down, holding Izuku's other hand in attempt to help the team a bit more. "We need to get them out of here," Dabi mumbled. Looking at Tomura, Tomura knew that it was extra hard on Dabi, seeing as he had a brother the same age as Izuku. His big brother instincts were kicking in. He could see it in Dabi's eyes. What if we try... Wait, I know. Do you have an idea? The younger of the two asked. Dabi turned towards Kirill. What if I try to make you remember? Because of the earlier experience, uh, because of today's earlier experience, you won't be under um awful one's command. If we get you to remember the past, maybe we can get um, we can get out of here that way. Bobby asked. Stop hitting the kittens! Sushi. Mom. They ain't doing nothing. They just laying by my feet like you do. Calm down. Anyways, that plan is risky, Dobby. Even if you do get me to remember, it's not certain I will be able to use my quirk anymore. It's not certain I will be able to use my quirk anymore. But it could work. We have to try something. Dobby answered. Eraser already has already started the experiment, and if we don't get the two of them out of here as soon as possible, we could lose them both. You're right. Killer Girl bowed. How do you think we should do this? It seems like the human part of you reacted to Eraserhead in his panic. Maybe, but maybe you knew each other before you were turned into a normal. We could start there. Dobby Tamara. Tamara said, looking thoughtful. Like, um, yes, indeed. Kiriko confirmed. When Eraserhead said that his family had lost someone, a image of the pair of the broken glasses, broken glass. Oh my God! Hello. I'm sorry, guys. That was my mom who called me. Um, where was I? Yes, indeed. Girl confirmed. When Eraserhead said that his family had lost someone, An image of a pair of broken goggles showed up in my memories. Same with the group name, the Rooftop Squad, he explained. That's a start, Bobby explained. Okay, if we start with the goggles, what type of goggles were they? Kirill looked thoughtful for a moment before answering. Um, they were they were kind of like Eraserhead's goggles, but smaller. Do you have connection or a feeling when you think about it? Tomura asked. He had no idea if this was going to work, but but they at least were onto something. I had a feeling of happiness, a type that doesn't come from family or friends. A feeling that needs of the need the feeling of the need to protect. Okay, what about the rooftop squad? I can see a blur I can see a blurry memory of two people. They were someone who meant a lot to me, he answered. Tamara, Tamara thought for a moment, wrapping his head around the information. Okay, so the possibility of the goggles and this squad are connected in a hive. He thought out loud, still cradling the teen, who seemed to be calmer, but still not unverbal. Yes, I have a feeling they are connected. Okay, can you try and remember if Eraserhead was one of the two people? You reacted badly earlier when he was taken. I think so. It seems like him and another, a blonde maybe. Kira numbered the sentence. A blonde. It's not Alma, is it? Hmm. Blonde. It's not Alma, is it? Tamara gruffed. If Kira was friends with All Might, he wouldn't want Kira to remember. No, no, not All Might. He was the same age as me. I think he had green eyes, Kira assured. Tamara let out a breath of relief. Your name is Oboro. A shaky voice spoke up. Sorry. Um, a shaky voice spoke up. The green eyes looked at looked up at the tree, unfocused but determined. Oboro shimmer. Oh my God! Shimmer Kumo. Oboro Shimmer Kumo. Just like that, the fog around Kira exploded into chaos. Um, I'm sorry, I stuttered a lot and it was like so frustrating. Um, but I hope you all enjoyed. Um, I honestly love how Shigaraki and Dabi and Kira are all um, helping Izuku and Eraser, Aizawa, I almost called him Eraserhead, um, like helping them out. Ugh, I love that so much. Like, I love that. It's so wholesome. Okay, but the end notes, there's some end notes. Here's the summary of the whole um chapter. I didn't do those other ones, and I'm sorry about that. hmm It's the summary of it. It's Shota is taken by one, not Mentor, all for one, into the labs. Toya, Tomura, and Kirigirl tries to remember Kirigirl's past, and Izuku chimes in with the name Oboro Shimakiro when his drop begins to become better. Well, I'm I'm kind of happy how this story is. It's not bad. It's, um, but I think we'll be able to get through this um the rest of the story before fall break. So I might start the other story earlier. Um, I gotta really look at it. But anyways, I hope y'all enjoy, and I will see y'all next time.